Oh, welcome back. We are back with former Notre Dame safety Corny Southall. Now, when your football career came to an end, you embarked on an incredible 27-year career with the United States Secret Service Presidential Protection Division, providing security for every current and past president, all the way from Richard Nixon to Donald Trump. How did that career path even come about? Was that something that you had thought about in the back of your mind, or what led you in that direction?
Well, I have to give all the credit here to Notre Dame, because over my 4-year career here at Notre Dame, we had the experience, the football team had the experience of having presidents come to our games. We had President Reagan come and dedicate the Newt Rockne stamp. My junior year, we won a national championship. My senior year, so all that Secret Service events that occurred, that's what I saw. To make a long story short, we were at a receiving line with Coach Holtz and the 22 starters my junior year. I was at the end of the receiving line with President Reagan coming around, and Coach Holtz and Mrs. Holtz were right next to the director of the Secret Service. And at that time he said, "Here's my card. If any of your boys are ever interested in the Secret Service, please give me a call." Fast forward a year, we win a national championship. We go to the White House, we come back. I'm getting ready for the draft, hoping to be drafted. Went in to see Coach Holtz, and he said, "If it doesn't work out for football, what do you want to do?" And I said, "How about the Secret Service?" And he said, "Well, let me make a call." He turns to his Rolodex, pulls out the card, calls the director of the Secret Service, and I could only hear Coach Holtz's conversation, and he's like, yep, yes, sir, okay. He hangs up and he says, "You have an interview in the Indianapolis office tomorrow," which was a Tuesday. And then on Saturday, I graduated from Notre Dame, and the rest is history.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing how one thing can change your life,
Yes,
and
sir.
you don't even know in the moment? Jerry Faust exits Notre Dame, you get Lou Holtz makes one phone call, and all of a sudden you're on Secret Service detail.
Yes, sir.
Before I ask you the next question, I would like to know, what is the training involved for the Secret Service? So how long was that training regimen before you actually got on detail?
Right. It's very intense, and you go to Federal Law Enforcement Training Center in Georgia for your first 6 months, and then you go to Secret Service School, Secret Service training in Washington, D.C. after you graduate from Georgia. And then you do roughly 3 to 4 years in criminal work. A lot of folks don't realize that Secret Service has criminal authority as well as financial or protection authority. So I did roughly 7 years in the field and gave assistance to Secret Service details before I did my 5 years on a presidential detail with President Clinton his last 3 years and President George W. Bush his first 2 years. So those were my 5 years of dedicated White House duty.
Well, it came full circle with President Bill Clinton. You had a moment there when a special visitor came to the White House.
Yes, which was phenomenal. It was just a normal working day for me. Wake up in Virginia, drive in, park at the White House, go in for work, my 8-hour shift, and I'm standing outside the Oval Office, and all of a sudden I hear President Clinton's personal aide run out of the Oval Office to go get someone. He's like, he's late, Holtz is late. And I'm standing there like, Holtz? I'm like, it can't be. And sure enough, 10 minutes later, and Coach Holtz is never late. We were taught never to be late. You got to be 5 minutes early. Well, Coach Holtz was late for the President of the United States.
Oh, no.
He was. So he comes around the corner. I could hear his voice. He had no idea I was there. Obviously, he knew I was in the Secret Service. He turns the corner. He's talking to the aide, and he looks, and he's like, "Corny Southall, oh my," and he runs over to me, and he puts me in a headlock outside the Oval Office, and he's going on and yelling and screaming. And President Clinton comes out, and he said, "What the heck is going on out here?" And Coach Holtz, who has me in a headlock, is saying, "Do you know who this is? Do you know who this is?" And President Clinton goes, "Yeah, he's one of my Secret Service guys." And he's like, "No, this is Corny Southall." So that's how that day went. So it was phenomenal.
Just incredible. I mean, your entire career has been so surreal. From pictures of you jogging behind George W. Bush
Yes.
to being really a part of the family with the Obama family. Michelle Obama, we heard her in our last segment. She included you in her memoir, Becoming. So thank you so much for being here with us today. You've got your national championship
Absolutely.
ring on.
Wear it with pride.
Heck yeah. All right. Cornelius Southall, Secret Service agent, father to Xavier Southall, and Notre Dame national champion. Thank you so much.
Go Irish.
Go Irish. When we come back, we'll have a look at your game day forecast.